Good afternoon, everybody on YouTube. How are you guys today? But today, what we're going to be talking about is cable you can use for your antennas for your radios. It was very interesting to me to figure out how to get a different type of wiring on my old school style radio. It has a BCN connector on it. It doesn't have like the screw-on style F connectors or anything like that, but it is pretty cool. And by the way, I have this 2 feet piece of cable here, and I decided, what can I do with this piece of cable instead of actually throwing it away? You guys can see we have a compression fitting F connector on this side, and we have a crimp-on BCN connector on this side. And by the way, it was very easy to actually strip this type of cable and the jacket and everything off of this cable reel. But they do actually make a special tool. It is called a cable stripper for this type of cable. All I did was I used a pair of scissors and my utility knife to do the install of this 1BCN connector. And I do actually have extra cable laying around. This is cable wire for you can hook up your TVs, your cable boxes, and everything else with this type of cable. Now, what I did, you guys can notice, I have F connector on this side and a BCN connector on that side. What I wanted to do with this 2 feet piece of cable, instead of discarding it like you normally do when you don't have a lot of this cable left, what I'm thinking about doing is using it for my radio and antenna as well, because this can go on to the antenna side of the cable amplifier of the antenna, and this end can go on the back of my stereo because it has the BCN connector on it. Now, you guys notice the 2 different pieces of hardware on this one single cable. Now, what's very interesting about this cable to me was it had 2 shields. It has 2 foil tapes, a shield, a braided shield, and a solid core conductor in the middle. And I was like, it's so simple to strip it and so easy to use my utility knife. But again, do be careful if you're going to be using your scissors or your utility knife not to cut the shielding. You want to make sure you score it, and this will break loose. This is apparently some type of PVC plastic, I guess, this black stuff here. Now, this may not be wall compatible, like, put it inside the wall or something like that, but it might not be good to bury it either. I don't know. I have not done that, guys. This is just a small piece of this type of cable I had laying around. And that was very interesting. If you really know what I want to use, here you guys can see, this is just a cable fitting here, guys. It's just a standard F connector. It's a compressing fitting, and you buy a compressing tool to compress this type of fitting on this type of cable. That was very interesting. Now, here's this type of connector. This is called a crimp-on connector. You guys can see it's not compressing. It's just a crimp-on, and it has this little sleeve. And this little sleeve goes on the cable first, and you put these 2 together, and you actually crimp these 2 together here, and it will actually make one solid connection. Now, the biggest problem with crimp-on connectors versus the compression fittings is the crimp-on connectors are not 100% waterproof. You would actually have to use one of these for your cable, TV, cable, whatever you have at your house. You can use this for watertight seals. And you do actually have different type of connectors, all different connectors that actually have water seals and everything else in them. And it's very interesting. It's like kind of cool. But looking to see what you can use for a cable like this, was kind of amazing. And I do actually have some extra cable line right here. This is just a cable line that you guys can see. It has no ends on it. It's completely blank, you guys can see. Now, I do not know what this cable is. I have no idea. I just am new at this kind of technology here and this kind of pattern of using this type of cable for antenna modding. But it was very interesting to understand on how you can use a BCN connector with a F connector by using the exact same cable. You don't have to actually have the exact same ends for this to work. You can put two BCN connectors on here or two F connectors on this cable and it'll work just fine. Or like I did myself, you can put one F connector or one BCN connector on this side as well. Now, not everything will have a BCN connector on it. You just gotta understand on what you're looking for. Now, if you buy an antenna is not gonna have a BCN connector on it. An antenna, outdoor antenna, will normally have a cable F connector female end on it, and that you'd have to use one of these. Now, this, I don't know how long this is. This is just something I had extra as well. Very good stuff. You can buy stuff like this down at your local electronics, I think, or you can buy different type of cable you choose to buy. It's up to you. Just make sure you try to get a good stuff as well. Not too cheap here, guys. But it's kind of unique of me trying to figure out, what to do with this cable. And I dawned on it, and I thought of it. It's like, I could probably use it for my radio. And I thought that was kind of awesome of this type of cable. Now, again, this cable is hard to bend. You guys can see. It doesn't like to stay on spot. It likes to go like this. But it's pretty easy to bend, you guys can see. Very nicely done. Now, the type of tool I used was a pair of scissors and my Husqvarna artillery knife to cut the black PVC jacket gently off of the cable. All I did was I bent it back and forth a little bit to actually pop the seam of the cable itself. But it was kind of unique. And yes, you can get better tools and better things to strip this type of cable without going through the hassle of using scissors or a artillery knife as well. Now, the biggest problem, I do not have the compression tool for the F connectors or the crimp tool for the BCN connectors. That's the biggest problem I do not have right now. Now, biggest issue with the BCN connectors is you're shooting blind. It's very hard to put the center conductor through this type of BCN connector. You guys can see that there's a core right there. But when you gotta look at this end, it's easy, but it's very difficult to see where the end gotta go. But make sure you put this on your cable first before you put that. Because if you put this on first, you can't redo it. It's very easy. All you have to do is cut it and stuff like that. Now this one got a hole right through the center of here, and you're not shooting blind here, guys. But this is the first time I am messing around with actual cable line from cable. You know, from your cable company or your DirecTV or your satellite company or whatever. And you can pick up a spool of this type of wire, whatever you want to use, but that's up to you guys. I do not know how much this cable was. It was like one of the little cheap freebies I had laying around the house as well. Like I said, we have so many cable TVs in this house. We have cable. We don't have satellite or dish or antenna for any of the TVs. So, but this is good to hang on to. Do not throw any of your cable away because you never know what you're going to actually use it for. Like I said, try to use it for radios. Now you can go big ol' if you want, and you could go thick ol' if you want. But that's totally up to you, but that's going to be a little bit more expensive. But yes, do hang on to some of your cable. Now, I don't know how long this cable is, but it is good, ideal to keep and hanging on to. And I will put the exact same ends like I have on here. You know, just one end of the F connector and one end of the BCN connector. Now, they do actually make a BCN connector compression fitting as well. You can use that as well if you choose to use. But this cable will work just fine, but yes, it will be just a little bit smaller versus a big or longer piece of cable line itself. Yes, cable line will have a interconductor and a shield inside of it in one, and that's what makes it very easy to figure out how to use and utilize all this type of method for your antenna modding. Alright guys, if you are brand new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment down below. Please like, please share, peace out, bye guys. Thank you for watching today's vlog. And yes, I am a newbie of doing all this kind of stuff as well for my 1960 to 1970 old stereo. Alright, later, bye, you guys have a good afternoon and stay safe.